Welcome everyone. In today's session, we'll be discussing about the organs of speech. First of all, in phonetics, the articulation of speech sounds of any language, we do need the help of or the involvement of many organs in our body. So all these organs that are involved in the production or the articulation of speech sounds together known as organs of speech. So organs of speech can be divided into three systems. The first system is that of the respiratory system. It is followed by phonatory system, and the final one is the articulatory system. So we are going to discuss in detail each of the system that starts with the respiratory system. So which are the organs involved in the respiratory system? It starts with lungs, muscles of the chest, trachea or windpipe. We are going to analyze in detail the movement or the function of each of these elements in the respiratory system. So we know that the lungs is a very integral part of our organ system, wherein the inhalation or exhalation process is happening. So inhalation means when we breathe in, and exhalation is when we breathe out. So how this process is happening? It is happening through the movement of the muscles of the chest. So the muscles of the chest can be either contracted or it can be spreaded. If it is contracted, what is happening? The air in the lungs will be pushed out. When it is expanded, it can draw air in. So because of the movement of the muscles of the chest, the lungs perform this action of either breathing or respiration. So it acts as a source of energy for all our vocal activity with the help of airstream. So the airstream mechanism, which is mostly used in the languages, are known as pulmonic egressive airstream mechanism. Because most of the time, when we breathe out, when the air from the lungs is pushed out, the speech sound is getting articulated. So the air that is pushed out of the lungs because of the movement of the muscles of the chest reaches in a particular point. That point is known as windpipe or trachea. And then once it is reached in the windpipe or the trachea, we are moving on to the next system in the organs of speech category. That is known as the phonatory system. So the most important organ in this phonatory system is larynx. So first of all, what is larynx? Larynx is kind of a box-like structure that is located at the front part of the throat, that is just above the trachea or the windpipe, and it is commonly known as Adam's apple. And in this larynx, we can see a lip-like structure. So the lip-like structure that is located in the larynx is known as the vocal cords. So the structure of vocal cords is they are placed horizontally from front to back. It is joined at the front and can be separated at the back. The gap between these vocal cords is known as glottis. So the vocal cords can be held close together or wide apart. And the glottis can be kept shut or open by holding the vocal cords together or apart. Let's say when the vocal cords are kept close, okay, it's not tightly closed, it's loosely held together, and when the air passes through it, it creates a kind of friction, a kind of frictional sound. Such sounds are known as voiced sounds. When the vocal cords are kept apart, the air passes through it without much friction, or let's say without any friction, producing sounds known as voiceless sounds. So the structure of vocal cords decides whether it is a voiced sound or a voiceless sound. So after this phonatory system, we are moving on to the last system in the organs of speech, that is the articulatory system. So articulatory system, again, for the purpose of study, we can divide it into three categories. The first section of organs comprised together under the title, the roof of the mouth. In the roof of the mouth, we have different parts, and each of this part play a very important role in the production of certain sounds. And then we have tongue and lips. So let's start with the roof of the mouth. What are the parts in this roof of the mouth? It starts with the teeth ridge, then the hard palate, the soft palate, and then uvula. So let's discuss in detail what is teeth ridge. So it is the hard convex part immediately behind the upper front teeth. So we have upper row of teeth and lower row of teeth. In the upper row of teeth, just behind the upper row of teeth, we can see a very hard portion, that is convex part, that is known as teeth ridge, or sometimes it is known as alveolar ridge or alveolar. And just behind that, the hard concave area behind the teeth ridge is known as the hard palate. Then we can see that from the roof of the mouth becomes very soft and fleshy when we move further. The soft portion is known as soft palate or velum. And at the extreme end of the soft palate, we can see a fleshy finger-like structure that is known as uvula. So this soft palate can be either lowered or raised. If the soft palate is raised, what is going to happen? The nasal passage will be completely blocked. The air can escape only through the oral cavity. So if the soft palate is raised, what is going to happen? The nasal cavity will be closed and the air comes through the oral cavity, creating oral sounds. If we are lowering the soft palate, what is happening? The oral passage is getting blocked at some point. The air is passing through only through the nasal cavity, creating nasal sounds. And we can create nasalized sounds also, because we are keeping our soft palate in such a position. The air from the lungs that escapes simultaneously through the nose and the mouth, that creates nasalized sound. So these are the parts of the roof of the mouth. It starts with the teeth ridge or alveolar ridge and then proceeds to the hard palate, then the soft palate and uvula. When we move on to the remaining organs involved in the articulatory system, that starts with the tongue. So the tongue has three main parts. So the part of the tongue that is just opposite to the teeth ridge is the blade of the tongue. And the extreme tip of the blade is called as tip. And the tip and the blade together known as apex. And part of the tongue that lies opposite to the hard palate is known as front of the tongue. And the part of the tongue which lies opposite to the soft palate is known as back of the tongue. So basically three divisions are there. So blade, tip, front, back, and apex. These are the divisions we studied when we are analyzing the tongue in the organs of speech. And the next organ is the lips. So again, the position of the lips affects the quality of vowel sounds especially. So in the articulation of certain sounds, the lip will always held in a very spreaded position. Sometimes the lip will be in a rounded position or semi-rounded position. So lips also play a very important role in the articulation of speech sounds. So these are the three systems that we have to study under organs of speech. It starts with the respiratory system, wherein we have lungs, muscles of the chest, trachea, and when we move on to the next system, that is phonatory system, wherein we have larynx and the vocal cords, and the third system, that is articulatory system, wherein we have the roof of the mouth. There are also teeth ridge, hard palate, soft palate, uvula, the tongue, and the lips. Thank you.